fuck you, Dad.
Okay.
All right.
Should we just do the soft open though?
Let's do soft open.
I like the soft
So-
open,
It's
a
bro.
soft open.
Soft open is we don't start with the like, welcome to fuck you, Dad.
Okay,
We're just
yeah.
gonna continue what we're talking about,
I like
which is
that.
right beforehand. We're talking with Tommy,
Yeah.
who's a hilarious Chicago comic, Tommy Schneeman.
Tommy
Sneegan.
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 Whatever his name is.
Sneegelman.
Schneeman.
I got brought on stage as Chris Schneegle one time.
That's
It was after I had maybe messed with the host a little bit on the first show.
okay.
And on the second show, he brought me up as Chris Schneegle.
Oh,
And
just
I was
to
like,
fuck
that
with
was pointed for sure.
See,
Afterwards, he's like, dude, I completely spaced. And I was like, okay.
How did you mess with him on the first show?
He bombed pretty hard, and I
boy.
went, and I got on stage, and I just
Well, you gotta do something.
I said basically like, I don't want to give it away, but I was like, yeah, I was gonna do 10 minutes on what he specifically bombed about, and it got this big pop, and then afterwards he
So you were a comedian,
right, yeah,
You're
I just
apologizing for
the room
so
was
he
really
wasn't
awkward.
funny, so I needed to be funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never have to apologize.
And I
If
get,
anyone's like,
dude, I get to
and
the
I'm
green
like,
room,
dude,
and
you
he just won't look at me. And so eventually I go, hey man, I hope that was all right.
suck. You know what I would have
said
done?
that.
I'd be like, hey, you probably need one of these, and I'd hand him a notebook and a pen. I'd be like, how about you just start over?
I got some tips.
Hey,
Maybe write down the thing I
joke
said.
writing. Yeah, dude. You know what I did up there? You're gonna want to do it like that.
Do one of those.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah,
God,
Chris Schneegle. I'll never forget that.
That's brutal, dude.
That was awesome.
I forgot someone's full name hosting. Like I can be a terrible host. I'm a terrible lot of things, but I can be a real. Where I just fully blanked on the name, and I just went to like the fake name George Costanza uses in Seinfeld. I introduced him as Art Vandelay.
Yeah, incredible. That's
And-
so much better than admitting you
No,
forgot.
I would fuck that. I follow the American way. Don't admit your
Oh my
faults.
God.
Boldly overcompensate.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You're like, that's kind of my thing when I'm a host. That's what
funny.
I do.
And you could-
I just bring
and
up
here's the
my
thing.
old Seinfeld characters.
is that not funny?
It's incredible.
It's a fun
Yeah.
time. We're all
Oh,
having
that's
fun.
so funny.
That's the worst thing too as a white guy to be hosting an open mic is to fuck up somebody's name who isn't a white person.
yeah.
Because then you look like an asshole. They get a free minute of like this white piece of shit. I've done that so many times where I didn't ask,
You're like,
and then
I'm
they've
not
got a
racist,
V and
I'm
an S
just
and an
dumb.
H, and I
Yeah.
was just like, ugh.
I don't plan ahead. That's all this is. I didn't look at your name till the moment I had to say it out loud.
And I'm hosting an open mic, so I'm like 4.5 drinks in. So
As
Not
someone
having a
with
good time.
difficult name, I couldn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
When anyone asks about my name, I'm like, just say he's done it before.
yeah,
This is gonna
yeah.
happen next.
Do whatever you want.
And an
Yeah,
open
yeah.
mic,
Also-
I'm almost like, don't say my name. Don't
Yeah.
admit to
I want
anybody
to
I'm
be
here.
like X.
It doesn't but that'd be kind of sick actually. Yeah.
It just cuts
a
to me in
good
an
move.
X sweatshirt. It's like my name.
Although then,
I tried to
then
just go
not
by one
addressing
name.
that would be insane.
That'd be pretty weird.
Yeah,
Coming up
yeah.
next, X.
X. And
Like,
you-
that's weird.
All right. And then everyone's just like, it's Kenyon.
I want to do that
Kenyon, you
tomorrow.
were here yesterday.
I want to fully rebrand as X
Yes.
and let everyone be like, what's
Oh,
going?
that'd
You're
be
like, first
so
the
funny.
earrings, now X. The guy's lost his
X,
mind.
the comic.
Yeah.
Oh my
You were
god.
there when Kenyon just had a full mental breakdown and
Yeah.
tried to change his name to X.
Don't acknowledge it off stage either. You're back to normal.
yeah.
The
No,
second
I'm just
you
gonna
get
get.
off
I'm gonna
stage.
like a fat neck tattoo that says X, and I'm still doing the same.
Then
joke.
no one will ask, dude. Everyone will be like, he's really, I don't know what it is, but it seems violent.
Yeah, I don't really want to find out.
Yeah.
But I'd love to still do the same jokes. Just
Yeah,
sort of
oh,
like
for
open
sure.
relationship. Like people gauges are dumb. Like Kenyon has a teardrop tattoo.
And gauges now.
Yeah. If I have gauges, that's when it's like I'm over.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
Right, because I
literally
mean
done.
then your joke's done.
Then
Then
the-
you can't do the joke.
And if I don't have 1 minute of jokes after doing comedy for 6.5 years,
If you
Oh,
get
then you're
gauges,
fucked.
I will get a small wooden cross and put it outside the tattoo place where you got it, and it'll say Kenyon Adamczyk, the day he died.
yeah.
God bless. And I'll come and I'll pray to it, and I'll light a candle every day, dude.
Okay.
That'll be where
All
you
right,
died. That's where you died. That's where you stay.
It would be a fun bit if you all of a sudden had gauges.
it would be. I'm kind of not giving a fuck as much anymore about. You know,
Good.
I got earrings. Like I don't care. Let's just.
Yeah,
let's
the
just-
earrings. Did that bring out a new side of you?
probably
You
kinda
got a little,
did.
got a little crazy.
Got a little kid.
Also, you got earrings and like a nice haircut.
Yeah, I got a fade and
the
earrings.
same. Was it the exact same time?
No, it was around the same time. It was
Yeah.
after quarantine. I had a lot of time to look at myself, and I
Yeah.
went, "Boy, is this not pleasant."
This is so funny. I was looking through old videos, and I got to show you. I'll make it pop up on the screen too of this old video of this podcast. This is what Kenyon used to look like. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean,
Holy
yeah,
moly,
you really got
Anticholi,
hot
dude.
quick.
I
That's a
know.
huge comeback.
I mean, it was an
also,
episode
what
of
is it?
Queer.
Are you wearing
What
a
do you- what-
generic football jersey?
That's UNC Tar Heels, actually, but yeah.
Okay, I don't.
But it
see a
doesn't
logo.
say UNC on it.
I was
so.
gonna say it kind of looks like a practice jersey.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, that was quarantine. That was
Yeah,
me being
all right.
quarantined. But to be also fair, there's something
Wearing
about
the
a
jersey.
breakup that really lights the fire of like, we need a full redo.
Yeah,
Which,
well,
like-
because all of a sudden you're selling yourself again.
You're right. And we got it. We go back. We got to the stairholders. You're like, what? That wasn't working.
Yeah, maybe we redesign the product. we go back into beta mode.
Yeah,
and,
we get the fade. We get this going,
God, incredible.
So, Tommy, you were a Minnesota boy too.
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Born and raised.
St. Paul.
St. Paul, baby. Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I love Minnesota.
Yeah.
I go back a lot. Yeah,
me
Minnesota
too.
ruled. It's I've never like skipped a winter in my life, so that sucks. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I have this, I think, like desire to live in California or something
So,
for a year just to skip one fucking winter.
I moved to North Carolina when I was 20. That's when I started skipping winters.
Oh, you were in Minnesota for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that changed my whole outlook on what life could be.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
amazing.
like, oh, I don't have to like want to die for like 4 or 5 months of the year. I can like go outside and enjoy myself. And,
Dude, and people in the Midwest, especially in Minnesota, they're like, yeah, but that's what gives you a personality.
yeah, they have some sort of weird fucked up pride
It's
about
such
it.
a married argument. It's such a consistent argument. Everyone says the same thing. It's like seasons give a place personality. It's like, yeah, and depression.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
And just genuine pain, and it sucks to be outside.
Yeah, like you can't do most of what you want to do.
Like literally, if I hang outside for 30 minutes without a shirt on, I will die. Yeah.
Without a shirt on. Yeah. Dude.
yeah.
I mean, without a jacket on, you're in physical pain. It's bad.
Yeah.
I just hate the weird like dick on the table argument have like
Oh,
someone
it happens all the time.
some of my
bro.
girlfriend's work who lives in Iowa, they was like literally negative like 1 degrees, and she was like, it's cold. They're like, this ain't nothing. I'm like, this is quite literally
yeah.
as cold as it could. If it's any
love
colder, like you would die outside.
But
This is as cold
they
as
always
it
do
gets.
that. Well, last year it got to, hey, what do you remember Halloween of '97?
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
got
yeah.
to when it snowed 3 feet and it got to negative 25. It's like,
Well, here's the thing.
all right.
That was a mistake living here. Then. It's a mistake living here now.
Why didn't you leave after that? Yeah, that's. Honestly, it was fun as a kid. If you'll agree here, like it was fun because like I grew up playing hockey and stuff. So like winter was fun from like I'd say late November to like January.
All
like
the
end of
snow, the
January.
sledding, the snowboarding, the
That was
snowball
fun.
fights.
And then you have these 3 months. It's the same thing as here, where it's just like dog shit, and like you can't
really
do
sad.
anything, and it's still cold, but it's like just sloppy outside from like February to April. That
slush season, bro.
Yeah.
And so I saw on your podcast,
Roommates-in-law.
thank you, podcast.
plug.
You were a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, when did you go through puberty?
I want to say 15.
Okay.
I want to say 15,
Like, what do you mean
16
by
is when
late
I
bloomer?
started.
Like, what
So
effects are we talking about?
when I was a freshman in high school,
I want fucking detail. I want a spreadsheet.
First pube. When was it?
when I was a freshman in high school, we were getting changed in gym class, and I didn't have any armpit hair, and I made up this extravagant lie that I put on expired deodorant, and it dried, it got crusted, and I had to rip out all my armpit hair. That's why I didn't have armpit hair.
And that says a lot about you right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like a next level kind of sociopath.
You didn't
No
have
one
any lies
believes
like
it.
that? You don't have any?
No, I didn't give that much.
No,
of
but
a-
I mean, no one was like looking at me being like, you should have armpit hair.
Oh, see, I was thinking
as a
everyone was gonna
freshman-
think that.
This was as a freshman?
Yeah.
I was 4'11", and I looked like I was 6 years old. So it's like, it wasn't like, no one was like, wow, dude, why don't you have pubes yet? Everyone was like, are you like a kid genius?
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
8.
Why is this 8-year-old
Yeah.
in the locker room?
I will say, like, the most tempted I was to join the swim team was because they shaved their armpits. And that was like, as I was getting up
see,
there, I
you
was
were
like-
thinking about it,
I was
though.
like, that would be a good excuse.
Yeah.
but I just waited it out.
Were you? So is that where you like started to be funny? Was
Yeah, that's
kinda
probably why.
Why you think
Yeah.
so?
I leaned pretty hard into like the theater kid thing.
Oh, okay.
Because,
You were a
okay.
theater kid?
Yeah, I grew
You
up.
strike
like,
me as
doing
well
it.
because you're like really cool.
Hey, thanks, dude.
You're
yeah.
like really fun to be around and cool.
Well, I was just like a cool, sick theater kid, you know? I was one of those.
Paradox. I've never met one that existed.
No, I was such a fucking dweeb.
Everyone I know who's a cool theater kid, they always go, "Hey, I wanted to be in theater and it didn't work out." I'm like, "That's why you're cool."
Yeah, you failed early.
No. The fate stopped you.
Yeah.
Like fate was like, "No, you were destined to be a good hang."
Yeah, you have too good of a personality.
Yeah, same here. I kind of want to be a theater kid, but I was legitimately too cynical.
Yeah.
And doing too many drugs at the time to hang out with theater kids. Because
Yeah.
they'd be like being like there's just a performativeness to them where they'd just be like,
sure.
"Oh my God," I'm like that. And even at 16, I'm like, "Oh, this is too much." Like
Yeah.
just cigarette in the mouth, like, yo, too much.
They're all doing like a circle massage chain, and you're just standing on the outside like these pussies.
Yeah, it was like
ruining our country. This isn't what I fight on the playground for.
I just kept going, "You'll see," even though I've seen nothing in life. I'm like, "You'll see." Get their 7th period. You'll
My
see
high
something.
school was so big that their theater department like won awards or whatever.
Did you go to Lakeville?
I went to Wayzata.
Yeah. Okay. Huge
I feel so left out in this podcast.
Yeah,
You guys just start
it's gonna
naming
get
people's
real
names.
inside Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm
here.
just like, yeah, all right.
Wayzata stinks.
I was so close to being like, "You think I was from fucking Lakeville, dude? You think I'm fucking Lakeville, pussy?"
Yeah, don't read into that.
But no, the theater kids had their own like batch of bullies. So if you like went to Theater 101 and was like, "I'm thinking about getting started," they'd be like, "Doth hath not no script to this," and then they all like giggle at you, and you'd be like, "What? You guys suck."
They were like comics.
A little bit, yeah.
Like the big dog comics.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, they would big dog you in theater. They'd be like, "You're a fucking. You wear all black and you just scoot a box around."
Oh,
That's
but
your
the
job.
great thing about that is like I feel like if you had any testosterone, you'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna mildly punch you, and then become king of the theater kid." All you have to do is just slightly throw a jab your
gonna
way.
physically take over.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a fucking thumb war with you, and you're gonna cry and be in therapy for 3 years.
Did you get any? And you don't strike me as a kid who got in any trouble.
No, I stayed out of trouble. I was a pretty good kid. I got into some trouble in college, but nothing crazy.
Just like drinking tickets, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah.
Just imagine this cuts to just Tommy having like a Xanax empire.
Yeah,
It's like nothing crazy.
Just minor. I only had 12 people working for me.
Yeah, just loading an AK-47. Like he did that on what block?
Yeah. At the University of Notre Dame, known drug capital.
Yeah.
Is that where you went?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
And you looked like a child?
With it.
That's a scary place to look like a child.
Yeah, I mean, I was the difference between freshman year and senior year is like insane. I truly went through puberty like halfway through my senior year of high school into like freshman year of college.
That was just in time. It was almost like your body's like, it was until you needed it.
Yeah, it was like, we can't get out there.
It almost
looking
helped
like
you.
this.
It's like, okay, let's prevent a pregnancy. And then now it's like, you need this now.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
I think I'm glad I didn't, because I think if I was a regular kid and like hit puberty when I was 13, I would have tried to fuck and I would have like too early and I would have fucking failed high school. You know what I mean? I would have been I would have been
all
way
that
too.
And I wasn't fucking.
You're like you make it seem like just puberty was the only thing. If you go through puberty, then you're fucking.
No, you can still just be a full loser with hair and a dick. You can have all the takings of a man and yet the mind of a child.
Yeah.
And
Your balls don't drop, and then everyone's like, "Wow, let's fuck."
That
Kenyon.
was you as a kid. I could see you as a kid, like eating a Twinkie and be like, "You think puberty means you fuck, kid? You think that's what it means? Trust me."
So he's in 6th grade talking to the 5th graders. He's like, "I'm not fucking at all."
Hey, believe me over here. Shit's drier than these Lunchables, bud.
That reminds me. Give me that.
So, Tommy, did you have like here's a question that we like to ask.
Yeah.
Has your dad seen you do stand-up comedy?
Yeah, too much probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you got a supportive daddy.
Yeah. My parents feel weird about it. They were not.
As they should.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, it's a horrible decision.
You're an emotional
that
stripper.
we've made.
and
Yes,
it's weird.
Yeah. So they correctly feel weird about it. They were not very supportive like when I started it. And then I think it was like, they got freaked out when I started taking it seriously.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but I would leave my job for sure if that meant like, I couldn't do it or whatever. And that they started getting freaked out by that. Now they come around and they come to shows like, yeah, arguably too much. The last show I did in Minnesota, we were at Sisyphus Brewing, and
I'm about to be there. in a
my
couple weeks.
parents came 2 nights in a row.
Oh,
Ooh,
dude, that's too
the
much.
Two-nighter.
Horrible. Like the second show, I had a visibly bad time. on stage. Like watching back the clip, I'm like, all right, I let that get to me a little bit too much.
Well, because you're like, listen, it's the same shit. Even if I was on top of my game, famous comedian, I'm probably gonna run the same hour.
Yeah, I want you seeing me once a year.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
I think that's how I feel about all my. Yeah, that's even hard with you have like a significant other. They always want to come to shows, and you're like, it's kind of. You almost feel pressure, like we got a hot new minute and a half.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you hoping to see?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like usually significant others, like they understand it.
Yeah.
And that's my family. I've had to be like, because my siblings are great too. They'll come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys do have to understand, like, it's an act. And the shit I'm saying about you, like, because I talk about my family a lot. And so I'm like, you can't like chime in, because that's like, my dad has like heckled me before when I'm like talking about him. Dude, last time I was there, because he's a doctor and I have a bunch of stuff about like anti-vaxxers and stuff. And I had some dumb riff about like the vaccine not working, and my dad like yelled. He was so hammered, and he was like yelling from the crowd. I was like, "Oh, this is not great." Yeah,
I can't believe.
If my dad heckled me, I'd probably have the best set of my entire life.
I mean, I got a couple fun riffs out of it.
Hour and a half, just rocked and loaded. My dad is the reason I'm good at dealing with hecklers. Is you just have to have just a shitload of repressed rage sitting right at the gun. And so if someone comes at you on stage, you just fire that clip.
Yeah.
So if it was the source, I mean, we're lighting
right. You're like, you just you unlatched the old the treasure chest that I have on you.
Well, Kenyon's on stage and then his dad heckles him, and then you're like, oh, this is why I did
comedy.
It's like in anime. Like, I've been training my whole life for this.
Final form all of a sudden.
Truly the final boss.
Yeah.
It's the
God, that's like the it's like a therapy exercise. It's like, have you done face your fears? Do stand up for your father alone, and he's gonna heckle you.
Oh my god. I mean, my dad used to heckle me when I was playing soccer. So he's a British guy, and soccer's pretty big.
At least it's kind of a fun accent when he's yelling at you.
Yeah, but it would terrify everybody else.
For sure. Well, they also probably assumed he was like incredible at soccer.
Oh yeah. And
he
was
the guy who invented soccer.
He was on the British national team.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But and I remember I've probably told this story before, but he was screaming at me about something. I was like walking and he was like, you know what, Nick? If you're not gonna play, fucking get off the field. Jesus. And I started angry crying on the field.
That, like, heavy breathing.
Like, shut up, Dad. And everyone could see I was crying, and they were like, oh my God. And I was still like on the field, like running around, like trying to play, but like just tears running down my face. So
was he ever your coach?
For a little bit, he got banned. He got kicked off.
Wait, how are we not talking?
Too much of a
we
dick?
have way before, but yeah, he slipped on the ball. He did one of those things where he was trying to pass the ball, stepped over it because it was like a size 3 or something. Steps over it, full slips on his ass, falls on his back, and he just yelled out like, "For fuck's sake! Fuck me!" Like he just hurt.
Yeah.
And one of the kids was like, "Mom, the soccer coach today cussed, and I got really scared." And she wrote an email, dude, and he was gone.
Oh, so I'm on your dad's seat.
Me too.
I think Soprano style. This kid needs a visit.
I thought that was gonna be a way darker story. I thought you were gonna be like, well, he started hitting.
Well,
us.
it was so no. He was so like he hated doing it so much. He was relieved when the email came. He was like, "Oh, I don't have to do it."
Oh
yeah, sure.
That's how he probably felt about having you. Email, you're out.
Like, can I get one of these emails for Nick?
He actually saw me do stand up recently. I opened for Dan Soder at the Good Nights, and it was sold out crowd. The show went fucking awesome. Like set went great. Whole show was great. After the show, I'm meeting up with them outside of the comedy club, and I was like, "Dad, what'd you think?" And he didn't say like, "Oh, you were great, really funny." He was like, "I loved being on the list. We got a nice table. I tell you, that's top class treatment there. This is a nice comedy club being on the list. I love it."
Did you catch my set?
Yeah, I was like, I got an applause break in like 5 seconds. It was pretty hot, And my mom cried, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, let's relax."
During the show or after?
After, she was like, "I'm just so proud of you."
Oh, that's great. Those
awesome. Are like the two polar extremes of not.
I know it's like way too much.
One person that's like, "I'm literally never going to give you the validation you seek," and that causes you to do stand up in the first place.
Yeah.
The other person just being like, "Oh my God, dreams coming true," and you're like,
your dad's like, "They have great bathrooms here." Also, thanks.
I love that sentence because it's like, oh, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's never gonna.
I couldn't do
Yeah.
anything.
There's never like you can record the special and your dad will literally just be like, "Yeah, I mean, they gave us
Great
3
fish and chips.
Yeah.
Lovely. We had a great meal before this. You know?
The Uber over here."
Well, that was a
Air
great.
conditioning was
That was a great British accent.
You got it.
I've never.
Uber is a hard one. That word Uber.
Uber.
I'm
That-
kind of one of those people where I am occasionally talented.
All
Not
right.
all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
so I'm not full-time comedian, but every now and then I can pull something up.
There we go.
Well, Tommy, do you want to plug anything before you?
Are we already wrapping up? This is
Yeah,
great.
bro.
Wow, look at this.
You wanna have a quip or something? Talk about your dad slightly.
Yeah, sure, I feel
the
bad.
heckling story was good, but yeah,
I got one fun.
We want some more
I got
flavor.
one fun one because I feel bad that I just shared that he heckled me. Because my dad and I don't know if you guys do you guys say I love you to your dad?
Yeah,
Have
yes,
you ever?
yes,
That's
yes.
kind of a heavy question for me, son.
Okay, well, because me and my dad, I truly don't know if we've ever said I love
Oh
you. to each
wow.
other.
wow.
Okay.
But it's very odd because I know he loves his kids, but like he doesn't. We don't know how to communicate.
That's very heavy. Midwestern
Me and my dad
white
get-
energy.
For sure,
me
big
and,
time.
me and my dad get really drunk together. Do you
yeah,
guys do that?
Yeah, oh for sure. We get.
And
we
it
get
still
really
doesn't happen
shithoused.
even after a couple.
He'll
of,
say like he's thrown like a, I'm proud of you at me before
Proud's
because I'm
probably
like
as
"Yeah."
close as you're gonna get.
That is as close as I get.
Proud is
Yeah.
just code for love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But my
It'd be so
dad,
funny if he
so,
was like, "I'm proud of you," and then you go, "Do you love me?" And he
Say
goes,
it.
"Are you gay?"
he's like, what does that have to do with anything?
yeah. Yeah. What are you
Well,
talking
I was proud of you until I realized my son's.
He's like, Jesus Christ, you got some shit to work through.
Yeah.
Oh my God, get out of my house.
I was trying to have a moment with you.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Got all gay
Until you
on
got
me.
a fucking hard on for me.
You take that shit to your mother. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's wild because if every time I talk to my mom on the phone, it's like, love you, bye.
Yeah.
When me and my dad talk on the phone, it's like, all right. Yeah. We both just kind of make noises at the end and then we hang up.
How much wars, like school shoot, everything could be avoided if just 2 grown men
Yes.
just went, "Hey, I love and
Hey,
care about you.
I love you.
Hey, you raised me. I'm your son. I love
Yeah.
you." But instead, it's like, "Oh, all right, feelings." Take
Yeah.
the phone, throw it in the trash.
Throw it out
can.
the window of the car. Yeah.
Just bury
Don't know when
it.
I'll see you again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
All right.
No, my dad.
Wouldn't
my
mind
dad,
seeing you again.
They're like, what was that? Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
I was talking to someone else.
Oh.
No, my dad showed his love like but through action. Like my dad made a hockey rink in our backyard every year for my whole childhood,
Nice.
which ruled. It was amazing.
Yeah.
We're like in a city little lot. Like it's just like it's a small backyard and it's weirdly shaped. And he would make an ice rink like in the back, and it was great. We played hockey. All my friends would come over. But one morning at like he would do this before going to work at like 5 a.m. So he's up, it's dark, and he gets out there and he's flooding it with the hose. He slips, falls on his back, knocks the wind out of him. He can't move. Hose is going straight in the air. It's -5 degrees in Minnesota. It's 5 a.m. No one's awake. He's sitting there thinking like, this is how I die.
This is it.
I freeze myself to my backyard. What a terrible way to go out. And he eventually recovered. He like probably got pneumonia or some shit.
Yeah.
But it's like that's the quintessential. Like I'm like my dad can't tell me he loves it. Like we can't say I love you to each other. But he's getting up at 5 a.m.
To make you a
flood the
pond
rink.
hockey
Almost
rink.
killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey,
that's
I know
that's
if
how
you
he
said
showed
like
it.
you never say love to each other, he's like, I almost killed myself.
Yeah,
Make a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hockey
It's like,
rink.
what do you need?
Yeah, now
What
I
do
gotta
you
say-
want from me?
I saw God in our backyard because of you.
Saw my whole life pass through my eyes, and it was a great life of never having to say I love you. And you're gonna take that from
Let
me.
me tell you, that didn't cross my mind
yeah,
out there. I wasn't like, God, I wish I could say I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my little quip.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
Of course. Yeah.
Plug your podcast one more time.
Oh, Roommates in Law. It's a podcast, web series with fellow comic Tim Smith. It's very fun.
Very
He's on
fun.
the pod, fun guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Friend of the pod. And then I don't know. I don't really. I'm closing out the last day I'm in Chicago. I'm closing out the Laugh Factory Verified Laughs
Fuck
March
yeah.
30th or something.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Come on out.
And if you're listening to this and you're in Minnesota, I'm at Sisyphus this weekend hosting for Paul Hoopa.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's going to be way too many people I know at that show. So
Wait a second. This weekend?
No,
next
this-
weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
weekend,
we're
yeah.
not gonna- this is gonna be later.
All
But
right, sweet.
yeah, and come out to the Lincoln Lodge every
Every
night of the week.
goddamn
Best place in the
night.
Hot
city.
shows, favorite venue in the city.
For sure.
Fucking check out our Patreon because
We're going to go crazy tonight on the Patreon,
Go
actually.
crazy tonight on the Patreon. Also, I need to enter a new tier on the Patreon where if you pay a certain amount, I will just come to your door and beg.
Yeah.
Just beg you every month. To
I think
renew.
you're getting.
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody wants that.
I
I
don't
don't
Yeah,
think that's a
that-
good
does
product.
either.
You gotta bring something when you come up to. I thought you had a different idea.
Like
No,
come to your
you just-
door
I'm
and
gonna
service
come and beg you to renew.
I just want to show that's my dedication.
All
That's
right.
where
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, there we go.
All right,
Go to
well,
the Patreon.
Thanks again, Tommy. That was a blast.
Of course, thanks guys.
Hey guys, you just listened to another episode of Fuck You Dad. If you could follow us on our Instagram, which is FCKYOUDAD podcast. That's the important one. We also have a Twitter account, which is FCKYOUDADPODCA1. If you could follow that. Also, please submit any father stories that you have that you'd like us to make fun of, laugh at, or share. Shoot that to our Instagram DMs. And if you could please go ahead and rate the podcast, share the podcast with your friends and family that might enjoy it, and keep listening. Thank you so much.